So good morning students. Today we will continue with a new topic, that it is respiration. Here we will continue with the new topic, it is respiration. This is the third chapter of BSc third semester. Okay. So here first of all we will study about the introduction part of this chapter, respiration. What is respiration? Respiration, that means exchange of gases. Exchange of gases. And what are the gases over here? So that is oxygen and carbon dioxide. Okay, exchange of gases. What are the gases? Oxygen and carbon dioxide. Between what it is going to exchange? Between the organism body and the environment. Here, exchange of gases between organisms body and the environment. Okay, so this is known as the respiration. See, all life processes means all the functions which are taking place inside the body, that we can call it as the all life processes. Yes, all life processes. Life means if a organism is living, processes means in which all the different functions are going to take place, or metabolism is going to take place. So all these life processes require energy and oxygen. What it is necessary for the maintaining the life means it is energy and oxygen. What it is that all life processes require energy and oxygen. Requires energy and oxygen to maintain a life. Okay, so the availability of oxygen, it plays a very important role, okay, in the life of living organism as well as in the distribution and survival of animal. If there is an availability of oxygen in the body of an organism, then only a animal or the organism, living organism, can survive. See here, energy can be obtained by two processes. One is non-oxidative process. Some of the microorganisms, some of the smaller organisms, some of microorganisms will obtain their energy by non-oxidative processes. Obtains energy by non-oxidative processes. What do you mean by non-oxidative? Means that it is anaerobic. In anaerobic condition also, they are going to synthesize the energy. See, only some of the microorganisms, not all. Majority of the organisms will undergo into the aerobic process. Okay, but higher animals, especially the animal or the plants, the higher animals and plants obtain their energy by which process? That is by aerobic process. Which process? That it is aerobic process. Some of the microorganisms, such as some bacteria and all, they will obtain the energy, or they are going to survive without oxygen. Okay, there will be no oxygen. If there is no oxygen in the environment of that particular organism, then only they can survive without oxygen. And that process or that organism, we can call it as the anaerobic organisms. But the other than that, smaller organism such as bacteria and all, other than that, such as fungi is there, protists is there, then higher plants are there, higher animals are there, smaller animals are there, all they will require the oxygen. If they are surviving in the presence of oxygen, or if they are obtaining the energy for their performing various functions in the internal body, so they require an oxygen. And that process we can call it as the aerobic respiration. Okay, which is taking place in higher as well as smaller. In majority, 98% of the organism requires the oxygen for survival, but only 1% or 3 to 4% of organism, that too in bacteria, does not require oxygen for their survival. Without oxygen only, they are going to survive. So this is about what? Respiration. And what is the widest meaning of the respiration, or how it is defined? Means respiration is defined as the gaseous exchange or exchange of gases between the organism and the environment. It is exchange of gases between the organism body and the environment, and that process we can call it as the respiration. So its essential feature are the, what are the two features? Here there are two important features of respiration: intake of oxygen and output of carbon dioxide. Here we see this is the definition of respiration. Except there, two features are there. And what are the two features? Means first is intake of oxygen, and the another is output of carbon dioxide. These are the two essential features of what? Of respiration. See, the aerobic organisms are taking in the oxygen and giving out the carbon dioxide. See here, if you talk about the smaller organism and if you talk about the higher organism, how they are going to respire means we will see here. See here. First, we will talk about the smaller organisms, how they are going to respire. Smaller organisms or small organisms, how they are going to respire. They will take oxygen directly from the air or from the surrounding water medium into all parts of the body. So here they will take oxygen directly from the air or surrounding environment or from the surrounding environment or surrounding water medium also. Surrounding environment of water medium into all parts of the organism, all parts of thin structures. into all parts of thin structures and give off carbon dioxide. Okay, and give off carbon dioxide from all parts directly into the surrounding medium. From all parts directly into the surrounding medium. So here, if we take one smaller organism, okay, how they are going to respire? First we will see here, smaller organism means we will take one insect. Okay, insect is one of the smaller organism. Here you see, this is the body of what? Insect. Insect, their body is also made up of many number of cells. Okay, they also have cells and tissues that all cells require the oxygen. So, this insect is, or this small organism is aquatic animal. Okay, if it is terrestrial means directly they will take in the oxygen, and directly that oxygen is going to supply to all parts of the body like this. Okay, then directly from the body they will give out the carbon dioxide. Directly, there is no respiratory passages, there is no respiratory organs, or there is no respiratory structures. Only some thin structures or thin membranes or thin cells will be there, which are responsible for this gases exchange. The cells of their body is going to utilize that oxygen and give out directly into the surrounding environment. If it is aquatic animal also, in this way only, see, this is the aquatic animal, and here in the water there is a presence of oxygen. Oxygen is not free, it is in the form of dissolved form. Okay, so that oxygen is going to inhaled, or for example you take small fishes. Fishes are also the organism, in them there is the presence of gills. What are that small structures which are responsible for this gases exchange? That is the gills. So what they are going to do means they are going to take the oxygen which is in the dissolved form, then directly they will give away the carbon dioxide through the gills. So there is no somewhat highly developed cell or highly developed organs or the respiratory passages for the exchange of gases. In whom? In the smaller organisms. See here, they will take oxygen directly from the air or from the surrounding environment into all parts of the thin structure. There is the presence of some membranes like that, and give off carbon dioxide from all part of the body directly into the surrounding medium. So this is taking place in the smaller organisms. Next we will see about the higher animals, how they are going to take. See here, they can do this successfully because they have small enough to have every cell in a direct or nearly direct contact. See, their body is small, their body organization is simple. So their cells are not much developed, or their cells are not many in number. So directly the oxygen can reach to the all parts of the body, and they are in direct contact with the gases. Okay, so that is the thing. So here which process is going to take place in the smaller organism, by which directly they are exchanging the gases? So that is the diffusion. What it is means that is the diffusion. But diffusion process now, this is one of the simple process where exchange of gases are going to take place. So in this form they are going to exchange the gases. So it will take place in each and every part of the body, or in each and every cell of the body. So larger forms require. So this is taking place in the smaller forms. Then what about the larger forms? What they require? The larger forms require the aid of respiratory and circulatory system. So here, larger organisms requires the some parts, some organs, that is the respiratory organs or the circulatory organs. See here, larger forms require the aid of respiratory, requires aid of respiratory and circulatory system. What does it require? It requires the respiratory as well as the circulatory system. Respiratory means that is lungs, gills, pharynx, trachea. So all these things are what? Different parts of the respiratory system. So that is also required, except that it requires the circulatory system, such as heart, blood vessels, capillaries, veins, arteries, and all. So this in whom? In the larger animals or the higher animals. So this is about what? Because their body is highly developed. Okay, their body organization is at organ level. So each and every organ requires the oxygen. Each and every organ requires the give out the carbon dioxide. So all that process are going to take place in a specialized manner, in a specialized function, in a specialized what we call structures, that it is the respiratory system, what we call, and it also requires, because the blood is going to carry the oxygen and as well as the carbon dioxide. So that is why we also require the circulatory system. Okay. So this is about what? In higher animal, how the respiration is going to take place, and in lower organism, how the respiration is going to take place. Next, we will talk about, there are two types of respiration. What are that? Means external respiration and internal respiration. We will see that one. Next, there are two different types of respiration. What are that? Means external respiration and internal. Let's see about that one. Wait a minute. two types of respiration. What are that? First is external respiration and one more is internal respiration. What do you mean by external respiration? Means gases exchange between the blood or other circulating media. See here, gases exchange between blood and other circulating medium. And air or the surrounding water constitutes the, what is that medium? Air or water. Okay, gases exchange between the blood and other circulating medium. And what are that medium? That two sources, air or water. Okay. The next, what I explained in the smaller organism. Here, if this is the body and this is the air or water, from where they are going to directly take the oxygen. This is the external medium. Air or water is what? These are the external medium. So exchange of gases between the external medium directly into the body, we can call it as the external respiration. Then what do you mean by internal respiration? Means gases exchange between the blood or other circulating fluid. So here gases exchange between blood or other circulating fluid, and the active cells of the organisms. It is known as the internal respiration. You see what it is means internal respiration. Here, circulating medium they are there. Either it is air or water, to which we are calling it as the external respiration. But in internal respiration, what it is means gases exchange between the blood and other circulating fluid, such as lymph is there, plasma is there, and the other circulating fluid, as well as they have given the cells. Okay, gases exchange between the blood and the other circulating fluid and active cells of the organism. That we can call it as the internal respiration. Okay, so respiration is in true sense a part of metabolism, because without oxygen, without intake of oxygen or output of carbon dioxide, there will be no metabolism are going to, any reaction is going to take place inside the body, as well as for it marks the beginning and end of the oxidative processes. Oxidative processes means that is the production of energy which is going to performed by the mitochondria. So that is for the production of ATP molecules. So these are chief means for liberation of energy in the form of transferred in living matter. So life cannot be maintained very long without renewal of oxygen supply and removal of carbon dioxide. We can't think of life without intake of oxygen and output of carbon dioxide. Okay, the chief product of physiological oxidation, that it is the oxygen. So the failure of nearly all living structure to maintain any actual store of available oxygen is an established factor. A continuous respiration is therefore necessary to maintain oxidative metabolism, and this is necessary for life too. Okay, so the next next we can go for the two processes are there in the respiration. that it is the inspiration and the expiration. Okay. See here, among vertebrates, orally I will say you, among vertebrates there are certain organs which are performing the respiration. What are that organs? Means such as lungs are there, gills are there, which are mainly meant for the external respiration. And in some animals such as frog, where the skin will act as an respiratory organ. Okay. Then except these, some are going to respire through the gills. That is in here I will write. See in vertebrates there are different types of the respiratory organs. Respiratory organs such as in fishes, these are the aquatic animals. In fishes, what these gills are there. Then in amphibians or frogs, we can take skin is there, skin and lungs. Okay, in some of the insects, such as cockroach and all, trachea will be there, tracheal tubes will be there for this respiration. And in mammals, if we see means, in mammals there will be presence of well developed lungs. For what? For respiration. Okay, so this is about what? Certain organs which are involved in the respiration. Okay, so a respiration or exchange of gases. So whatever the movements, the respiratory movements or the air breathing movements in the vertebrates, that are going to take place by muscular contractions. Okay, here muscles are also involved in the respiration or the breathing process. So which alternatively distended the elastic lungs and partly deflate them. The mechanism varies somewhat in different animals. This found in frog and in mammals. It is the example in which the lungs are placed there for these breathing movements. In frogs and all, there will be relaxation of muscles in floor of the mouth permits the mouth cavity to fill the air with air through the open external nares. There will be external nostrils or the external nares through which they are going to intake the oxygen and which is going to filled into the mouth, then it is going to pass to the lungs. Okay, so these movements we can call it as the inspiration, that it is the intake of oxygen, and expiration, that it is the output of carbon dioxide. So this is about what? About the vertebrates. Okay, there are two processes, that is inspiration and expiration, where this respiration process, it is also associated with nervous system. Okay, how means here the nervous system or the respiratory centers will be there in the what we call in the brain, which are regulating the mechanism of respiration. So respiratory centers will discharge some of the motor impulses which will enter into the muscles of intercostal muscles, that we will further study. What do you mean by intercostal muscles and all? So that is the reason that intercostal muscles will undergo into the contraction and into the relaxation process, as well as the ribs, thorax, diaphragm, lungs, okay, and as well as the intercostal muscles. Are all these muscles are associated with the respiration center in the brain. Okay, so this is about the respiration. In the next class we will continue with it. Before going to that, this all whatever the respiration which is going to take place, these all things are going to increase the chest volume, or where the lungs are located, that we are calling it as the chest. So it is going to increase the chest volume, or as the air enters into the chest or into the lungs, our chest volume is going to expand. When we are going to exhale the carbon dioxide, our chest volume is going to refract. Okay. So in the next class we will go for the main topic, that it is the pulmonary ventilation. Okay, thank you. Next we will continue in the next class.